today I'm going to be doing the microwave edit or whatever it's called. It's literally just Twixtor and then reverse Twixtor. I have a tutorial on the reverse Twixtor already. That's on anime clips, and some people tend to get confused because they might already have Twixtor clips already, which I don't really suggest. Just get raw clips and Twixtor it. Stop being lazy. If you want to just get Twixtor clips, you'll have to use velocity and then drag the velocity line all the way to the bottom. Can I put velocity on this? I don't even know. I'm even using 18 for this, by the way. Yeah, right click, velocity. You see it makes this green line down here. If I double click, it makes a keyframe. Let's say this is a Twixtor, right? You want to speed up the Twixtor so it speeds up and slows down. And you'll drag that down. Probably just double click it so it goes back to normal. You can graph it if you click, and then velocity, blah blah blah. And then if you wanted to reverse it, you just drag it all the way at the bottom, and then it will start reversing. That's with an already Twixtored clip. I don't feel like doing that because it looks ugly, personally. So I'm just going to show you. I'm going to use a Jinx, but raw scene pack, not Twixtored. I don't want Twixtored. I'm just going to get a raw one. I don't really like that it's 60 FPS. Don't like that, but I'll just get the link. No thank you. Okay, starters. For those who don't know how to make this a square as well, because you'll kind of need that, might as well do it at the start. Make sure you're on the first keyframe. Click 1.1. Cool. Okay. One thing I will do, I don't have my keyboard settings here, so customize keyboard, trim, okay, trim end, E, and then you set that to E, make sure you hit replace or add, set that to Q, replace or add, or whichever, it's usually replace. Apparently I do already have it on here. Great. Maybe her appearing in. Yeah, that would work. Like that. I want the Twixtor to last probably until her arms start folding, so I'm just going to keep it like that for now, and then I'm going to put it over. The audio went up, so I'm just going to drag the audio down. I'll delete the audio afterwards. I'm going to get to my next clip. Before people are like, oh, why are you putting it underneath? It's because I want my Twixtor to go up to this point. If I end it over here, that point no longer exists. It only up to here. I want up to here. So it no longer exists if I just make it up to the beat. So I'm gonna make it go to where I want it. That's why I'm putting it above. So now if I add a new clip, you're not gonna see it anymore. There's resample on this. If you don't know what resample is, it's this ghost looking stuff. You see that little faded stuff here? I don't like that, so I'm gonna go switches, disable resample. Yep. That's not worth. This is all raw clips, by the way, so it won't be smooth looking. That's what Twixtor's for. This definitely you can reverse. I'm definitely going to do that. I want the point to be all the way over here. I want that to be all the way over there. Gonna put it above. This audio keeps moving above, that's annoying. So the next clip. She doesn't look cool there. this one definitely. Okay, gotta wait for that to end. Make a new track. Put this up here. Then just 2 more clips to go. Or I think 1 actually. You have to try and like literally imagine it in your head. Definitely that one as well. A lot of head tilts. Head tilts are really good for this kind of thing, I think. 1 more clip. Maybe this one just because it's funny. Maybe not actually. That one, yep. Okay. When does that spin end? Around here. It's gonna end all the way over here. Okay. I am now just gonna check and make sure that all these frames are moving and that there's no dead frames, because you can't Twixtor if there's dead frames. I have repeated this many times, so I'm just gonna solo this track. It's an S symbol. I'm just gonna go frame by frame with my arrow key, because if this is all moving, that means everything else is all moving. Okay, cool. Yep. That's all moving. Great. I guess because it was 60 FPS. They most likely... This scene, they most likely downloaded the actual episode, which is good, because that means there's 0 dead frames. However, if they recorded it, sometimes there is dead frames. So like, for example, if this frame isn't moving, when I move to the next frame, obviously it is, but let's say if this wasn't moving, right? You would have to put S to cut, and then S there, and then you'd have to get rid of this dead frame that isn't moving. You'd have to delete it, and then you'd put these together again. If you're wondering why this is all moving when I'm moving this, it's because auto ripple is enabled. I keep it enabled personally, but you can turn it off. I'm just going to Control Z because all the frames are moving. I don't need to cut the frames. Usually if I cut the frames, I put them all next to each other and then cut the frames. But these clips are good, so I don't need to, which is great. That's really good actually. When you look for scene packs, make sure it's downloaded from the actual episode. It's less effort for that, because then you don't have to, you know, cut the frames. But when you get used to cutting the frame, it's pretty easy. If you're on After Effects, you can literally just use a script, so that's up to you. I'm just going to delete the audio. I pressed U to separate the audio from the video tracks. Control X and it deletes it all. Awesome. And now I'm just going to add Twixtor directly on the clip. If you did cut the frames, like if you put the clips next to each other, then you cut the frames, all you have to do is highlight all of the clips you have, all the dead frames, no dead frames. You see this symbol on the bottom right? You can make it into a nested timeline, which is like a After Effects pre-comp. Put it into a nested timeline and it will basically make it into a separate project. I'm not going to do it because I don't need to. Actually, I can show you, I can do it on this clip here, see? Nested timeline. Voila. I've crashed. Great. Okay, well it already saved. It saves as a separate project file, so I'll just go to that project file real quick so I can show you what it is. Okay, I'm back. I crashed. This is inside the timeline, the nested timeline. It's a completely new project file. It will say whatever and then untitled. And then basically the resolution you put it as, the cube, is now in this nested timeline. And you're like, why is there gaps? Why is it like that? So you just go up here, change the resolution to 1080, 1080. Make sure the FPS is the same, make sure it's not 60 FPS. There we go. And now you're back to normal. Now you can go back to your file, whatever I did as. You should really name your files. I don't name them, but that's why I lose all of it. There we go. And then when you go back to your normal file, it's in a separate file, so I can jump into it. I can jump into the nested timeline here, open nested timeline. Whatever changes you make in that nested timeline file will come into the whole project of that clip that you did. So if you wanted to put all the no dead frames together into one video instead of rendering it, that's what you can do. I have a video on cutting no dead frames, so you might as well just check that. And my other Twixtor videos, because this isn't a Twixtor tutorial, but I'll have to be doing Twixtor, so Twixtor, whoop whoop. Quick drag it onto your clip. Copy the settings. Frame number animation. I've done this so many times. So many times in my tutorials. But I'll be explaining it again. Let me just go down here, edit visible buttons, show all, okay. I want to see all of my things. Okay, so frame number, the default settings is speed. Speed is where you're animating the speed of the clip. Most would assume this is what you use Twixtor for. You can. It's fine for small movements, but then big movements, it's just really warpy. So no thank you. Frame number though, you're literally animating the frames in the clip. So for example, so if we just focus on this clip, there's probably about, what, 20 frames in this? If we go frame by frame by frame, okay, maybe a lot more actually. So look, right now 0, that is the very first frame where this marker is. If I move to 5, that's the 5th frame. But I can stretch this 5th frame all the way to the end. So now this whole clip, instead of like 30 frames, it's been stretched from the 0 frame to the 5th frame. So now look, it's really slow. Whereas if let's say if I go to the 20th, see it's all the way up there, and I drag it to the end, there's now more freedom compared to when I ended it at 5, where it only goes up to there. You see, you can see it moving in the preview like that. If yours isn't moving in the preview, click this icon down here. But right now, I'm going to make it go to the maximum that I wanted it to, 23, 24, 25, 26. Damn, is there 30 in this? Okay, no, there's not. 29. 29 is the max. Cool. And you can see it moving on my timeline down here. So I want it to go in the middle, roughly. Maybe a bit after the middle, around here. I'm going to do this. And then I'm going to go to my second marker. That's where the clip is ending. And then I'm going to stretch it to 0, like this. And that's why the clips are above it, so it can end where I want it to. Like this. See? So now by default it's going to start doing the Twixtor, and then it's going to start reversing. See? Because I went back down to 0. Of course it depends how much you want it to reverse, how much you want it to go in, blah blah blah. So now it's just experimenting. So you click on your clip, apply, go to the end, make sure it's in between the end keyframes, make it the other way. Maybe don't put it like flat, put it like a bit above so there's movement. I'm gonna drag it down just because she goes back quite a bit. If she only went back to about here, I would probably make it up like this. So it does depend on the movement. It's okay, so don't just solely copy me. So I'm just going to pre-render it. This might be a bit too fast, so I'm just going to Control Z. I don't want it too fast. So I'm going to lower this quite a bit, maybe like this. And then maybe like this. Something like that. Nice. And then we're gonna go to the next one. Hopefully this doesn't have any dead frames. This isn't arranged where I want it, so I'm just gonna go pan and crop, Just make sure this makes so I can only move left and right. Just move it on her face. Wonderful. Okay, we're gonna go add Twixter again. I think I have Twixter on it. I have two. Whoops. So we're gonna find the maximum point where I want it. 30, 40? Damn. 45, 43, 2, 41. Okay, cool. I did stretch this out a lot. Like, look how far that went. So 40, the max point is going to go a bit after halfway, like I said before. Just add a keyframe. First keyframe is going to be 0. So, you know, make it go like this. That's wonderful. And then the end keyframe is going to be 0, 2. And we just literally, it's just the same thing. This, add a graph. Maybe make it a bit less this time. Now, let me just pre-render. See? Look at that. And then I'm just gonna do the next few. Okay. This one doesn't have a clip above it, so what I'm literally just going to do is I'm going to select the track, go Insert, Video Envelopes, Track Composite Level. That's just a blue bar appears. It's like velocity, you double click, it makes a keyframe, double click again, makes a keyframe, drag it down. It's making the opacity go down, which just makes it disappear. It's still there, but you can't see it anymore. So then when it goes, it's not just going to be lingering there like a bit of a weirdo. So yeah, now I'm just going to do the rest of this. So add Twixter, find out how far it goes. 15, 16, 17, 18, oh no, 20, 21, 23, 22, 21, okay. Again, bit after halfway. Ta-da. 0, 0. Add that graph. You can always add make your own Twixter graph if you just want to keep copying what I'm using. Like we can do in for the beginning Twixter, and then like this for the end, and then it will appear wherever you have your graphs. Same with this. That so low quality. Oh, okay. If you've done this, it's because I clicked the end here twice. You just click it again twice, and it'll go back. I forgot this existed on the old versions. Haven't done that in a while. Oh, 0. After halfway. 10, 11. 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 15, I'll go over there. Bit after halfway, drag it back to 0, graph in, graph end. You just keep doing it, it's really simple. And people make it seem really advanced, but honestly it's not. 0, go to the end of the marker, which is here. 0, obviously that's not the end of the timeline, because I dragged it over a bit. 20, 25, 23, 24, 25, 27. I'll just go that. Go a bit after halfway from the halfway point. And there we go. And there we go. This is usually where you Twixter, where you'd render, I mean. Oh my god. Okay, I probably didn't choose the best clip for this bit, but I can't be bothered. Like, if you want, like, this movement to fix, obviously her head turns towards the right a little bit at the end, and then hers goes towards the left. I'm just gonna go to pan and crop, right click, flip it. I think the graph on this is too quick. And so I'm just going to be adjusting now. I'm going to find the point that I made. 15, that's where I ended it. I'm just going to maybe decrease that, increase that. I think I might adjust this as well. So instead of ending it where it was all the way at the end where I wanted, I'm going to end it where her head stops turning. So 10, 11, 12, 13. It was alright this. Not as much as I did before. Yeah, that's definitely a bit better. This, like this. Look how much better that is. And then I'm just going to flip this one the other way as well, because then it fits. You see how she moves to the left, her head moves to the left, and then her head moves to the right, and then the next flip right. And then her head moves to the left. So you just got to make sure the movement fits, really. Yeah. So this is usually where I would personally render my clips. So I'm just gonna render them. It's easier in my opinion. So I'm just gonna render because it takes less rendering time at the end. This is just a microwave edit though. This is just a Twixtor. You can literally just make this so easy and then upload it to TikTok. You'll get loads of views. So 10. 1080, 1080, 1080, 1080, 1080, 1080. Voila. No, I don't use a bunch of the fancy stuff. Leave me alone. Now, you would usually do this with an adjustment event, but I'm on a lower version. I don't have that. But it doesn't really make a difference. I would personally use it on an adjustment event, but that's because I use 22. I'm on my PC, and Valorant doesn't let me play. So, I'm going to be on 18, so I'm just going to go to lens blur, because lens blur is like the first thing you're going to add. Just add one, and then copy my settings. Basically, you have the default setting, turn the gamma all the way up, because then, look at how nice that blur is. Oh, it's so nice. So we're going to add the blur, probably, you're not really going to go higher than 15, it's a bit much. So we're going to go do this. Go to 0, and then do a very, very tiny graph. Very tiny. Something like that. That's nice. Graph it. You gotta be able to learn how to use your graphs. Then what we're gonna do is okay. What we're gonna do is, it depends what you want to do really, but I'm just going to copy and paste the effect. So I'm going to select all of them, paste event attributes. I think you can also select, yeah, video events and effect keyframes. There we go. So now all of them have blur. Of course, if you want stronger blur, that's up to you. You can, if you want like a blur transition at the end, you can just add lens blur again. Make sure you have a preset. Go to 0, make a keyframe, drag it like before halfway maybe, go to the keyframe before the end, up the value, make sure you put it at the end afterwards. Then just add whatever graph you want. I don't think I'll make it. Oh shit. Okay, make sure you add the second blur lens blur. There we go. Now you can copy and paste the effects. So now there's a blur transition, see? There's a blur, and then there's more blur. Cool. Then hue sat bright. I'm gonna add this for a brightness transition. I'm just gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna go, I have a brightness setting, but all I literally did was turn up the brightness on this. It's about 1.5. I'm not gonna bother adding a second one, so I'm just gonna put it a bit halfway, like past the middle, a bit past the middle, and then go to the end. Actually, I don't think you're gonna want the brightness going back up, so I'm just gonna do like that as a transition. And then this. There we go. Then I'm just gonna copy and paste that. Okay, cool. Again, you'd add this stuff on a event, a yellow event, if you know what I mean. But I don't have that on 18, so that's why I'm using the clips. Using the clips gives you less freedom, admittedly, so maybe don't do that. I have a small camera shake. What I'm gonna do is, again, I would usually add this on an event, but I don't have one. So I'm just gonna add it on a track instead. Maybe, do I have an adjustment track on this? No, I don't. Okay, that's fine. Where's... I have like a small camera. Yeah, small camera. You can copy the settings, I'll give it you. If I just put it like this so you can actually see it. Those are all the settings. Have fun. And I'm literally just going to leave it that way. I'm going to test to see how it looks first. Okay, that's a very big camera shake. I'm going to put it lower. Maybe decrease the frequency. Just copy what I'm doing. Oh, I think this... Never mind, ignore what I'm saying. Ignore me, it's small. Ignore me. That's like a flow camera shake. You can have that, free shake, you're welcome. I will give you the settings for these. I'm not gatekeeping unlike certain people. There we go. Okay, you can kind of see how, you can see the graph here. The motion tile, not the graph. I keep talking. It's the tilt, so I'm just gonna lower the tilt. You should really learn how to use your shakes. I'm just gonna lower the tilt there a bit. And the X, lower that. There we go. That's fine. And now blur more curves. I'm going to show you the way I do it. I do have a zoom tutorial, you can just copy that as well. But I do it a bit differently. I'm not going to do a zoom out from here just because that looks a bit unnatural because I have this clip here first. So I'm just going to go... Now, bear with me, I'm going to go from 1.2, and actually 1.1, I'm going to go from 1.1, just follow what I do, try to understand, and then I'm going to go to 1. Just do this first, okay? So do that, graph it, do a very small graph, don't do a big one, it's small values, so just do that, cool. We're good. And then add another blur mode curves. And then do like 0.87. Roughly. Do that. The reason why is so that now when it's zoomed out, there's no motion tile. Whereas if I take this off, look, there's motion tile up here. you can see it better if I take it off. There's motion tile. You can barely see it because this clip is kind of blending, but there's motion tile down here. And that's because I basically... Our blow-mo curves don't work the same as After Effects does. So if I decide to put 1.1 here, added blow-mo curves on top and put it to 0.8, I've basically counteracted it so there's no blow-mo curves there. It's complicated. I can't explain it. Just copy what I do. Trust me, it works. Okay. So yeah, 1.1 to 1, and then 0.870, so it zooms in a little bit more. There we go. Maybe in 0.8. It depends how much you want to zoom in, really. Might do 0.7. There we go. And now you can zoom out as much as you want. I'll probably only do to about 3, maybe. But again, do this, bit halfway. And then whatever graph you want, I'll probably do this. And it's glitching, of course it is. My thing was glitching. Really? This doesn't usually happen, but hey ho. Yeah, that'll do. You can see the zoom in now that I've replayed it, see? And now we're gonna do the zoom out. Again, bear with me. So we have 2 blow-mo curves. Start with 0.8. Again, depends how much you want to zoom in. I'm doing little zooms personally, but it's up to you. Put it to 1. This is a normal zoom out. The weird thing I did is only if you do a zoom in then zoom out. All the other transitions, they're normal, okay? You can just do zoom in and then regular value. So, blow-mo curves. And then 1. Start here or before halfway preferably, and then you zoom in as much as you want. See, this is normal, all normal. And then we get back to the whole zooming in again. I'm just going to do it again so people can understand. So 1.1, if you don't want, this is only if you don't want to see the motion tile in these little zooms for the microwave edit, okay? So 1.1, this does still work for anime edits as well. Let's say if you zoom into 1.5 and then 1 to 1, again the next blow-mo curves will still be 0.870. You will still do the next blow-mo curves as 1.870. That's how I've always done it. Right now I'm only going to continue it as 1.1 because I'm not zooming out that much. Like this, and then again second blow-mo curves 0.87. This is way too much. Basically, blow-mo curves is not the same as a null on After Effects. They are different things. They do not work the same. Okay, what is happening with my thing? My thing is glitching, but that's just because of this version. You won't have these glitches. I'm only having this because of this version, which is really annoying. Yeah, zoom out. And then I'm literally, because I've done this transition, so zoom in, then zoom out, and then this is a zoom out, then zoom in, these two just automatically will connect. See? They automatically connect. So now I can literally just go to, this is a zoom out, so I want the zoom out clip, which is this one. So I'm just going to copy and then paste. And then I'm going to go to this one, copy, and then paste, because I'm just doing the opposite transitions. And it's glitching. I forgot how to fix this, to be honest. I think I can... maybe... no, I'm just gonna... deleting the frame seems to work, so I'll just do that. Your version, though, you won't have this glitch. Thankfully. Like, this is so unnecessary. I'm just gonna redo this graph and then adjust whatever glitches there is. The perks of using an old version. If anyone else has this glitch, you're welcome. You know how to fix it now. Okay, I'm gonna pre-render it. Yeah. That's literally just how you do it, really. Then you can add extra stuff and obviously adjust it, make it smoother, however you want. Obviously you can tell mine's a bit buggy. Like it glitched there for some reason. Really don't know why. Anyway, yeah, you can do that. And now I'm literally just going to add some random stuff. So I'm going to add HueSat Bright to both of the first ones. This is so much easier when you have an adjustment event, because then you can just kind of do what you want. Actually, you know what? I'm not going to do this. I'm going to click on this track, Tools, Video, Insert. Video envelopes, track composite level. Again, it's back. I'm just going to double click on the markers where the clips change. Then I'm going to double click on the ends. Like, I'm going to zoom in. I can see where the keyframes are. I'm going to zoom in and click just before the marker changes. Like this. Then I'm going to click probably midway. I'm doing this because I want to animate the opacity and I'm too lazy to do HueSat Bright. So I'm just going to drag this one down like this, right click it, probably click slow fade. Again, do this, slow fade. Just doing this, it's the easier way for me, but that depends on people. You can do it manually with HueSat Bright or blur mode's brightness setting. There's multiple ways. None is the right one. There we go. Slow. And then I will also fade this area out as well. Like this. Well, that should make a little... There we go. I see this is glitching purely because Vegas can be buggy. There we go. Yeah, very fun. That's cool. And you know what? I think on the zoom out, I'm gonna add some fisheye. So now it's literally just adding stuff you want. You could just be happy with that and go on with your day. Wow. What is up with that? Clip. Okay. Okay, minus 20, minus 0, 20. That's lovely. Put it to 0 and it's basically this fisheye looking effect where it stretches the edges. I think it looks really nice. Fisheye, and then I'm just going to add it on the other zoom out clip, which is this one. Why? Oh my god. 20. Lovely. Okay. It is doing this to me on purpose. There we go. If you're on a lower version that's doing this, you just have to change like one value and it's fine. There we go. Yeah, it would help if Vegas would be nice to me. That would be awesome. Okay, cool. What's another cool effect? Honestly, warp just makes everything better. This is my BCC wave. It's like a little, well, it's self-explanatory, it's like a wavy effect. Yep, I saw that coming. This is actually so annoying. There we go. Perfect, lovely warpy looking feel, we love it. Last finishing touches, I would say I want a directional blur. It's literally just what it sounds like. It's blur in a certain direction. You can change the angle if you want. Right now it's horizontal, that's what I want. So I'm just going to put it at a high thing, go like 3-4 frames, and then put it to 0. And then maybe make it a fast fade. I want it to last a few frames, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 5 looks good. So I'm just going to do that on each of the clips. Again, use your event things, your yellow events. I'm doing it manually because I don't have it. This will probably glitch, but that's fine, I don't mind this glitching. It actually looks better for me if it's glitching. Very quick. Down. Fast fade. Whoop whoop. Fast fade. Yep. Okay, cool. not that strong. That's fine. I want to like see the beat, so I'm just gonna drag them a bit more forward. Perfect. Okay, cool. That's basically it. Yeah. What else can you do? I guess when you're zooming out, you see these zoom outs here on this clip. You can also add a warp fisheye on that. Literally just the opposite way. So if you add it again, go to 0. Just set it probably a bit before halfway. Again, minus 0.20, something like that. Graph it, whatever graph you want. Let's make sure this doesn't... You see, look, there's a warp at the end. We'll do it on this one as well. Set to 0. Minus 0.2. Click. Amount. Is this one glitched? Don't think so. Okay, cool. Shift B. Yeah, you see that effect it had? That is nice. Okay, it glitched a bit here. Of course it did. The newer versions don't really glitch like this, it's only this one. There we go. Nice. Very nice. And then you literally just add your CC or render it or add some effects. Do what you want. Learn your effects. But yeah, that's how you do the microwave edit. Very simple, very easy, very nice.